Now, live from across north central Wisconsin, News Channel 7 Weekend starts now.
Right now at 10, 2 people are seriously injured in the explosion of a mobile home. We'll tell you how it might have happened.
And a significant spring storm will bring the opportunity for heavy rain, multiple rounds of storms, high winds, and maybe even some snow showers. We've got all the latest in the First Alert forecast.
Plus, it's the final day of the famous UWSP trivia contest. We talk with the people who keep this tradition going every year. Hello, everyone. Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I'm Tony Langfellow. 2 people are seriously injured after a large explosion at their mobile home in Marinette County this morning. The Marinette County Sheriff says the explosion happened just before 9 a.m. in the town of Niagara. A man and woman from Milwaukee were inside at the time. They're currently hospitalized with serious injuries, including severe burns. The man told the county sheriff that he was trying to light their propane furnace, which had gone out. The mobile home was destroyed in the incident.
We just hope for the best for those 2 folks. They're in their 50s, or a couple. This is a seasonal residence. I said they were up here.
There is a GoFundMe set up to help the 2 injured people. You can find a link on our website at WSAW.com. One woman is dead after a single vehicle crash early this morning in Manitowoc County. The crash happened on Highway 29 near St. Augustine Street in the town of Maple Grove. The Shawano County Sheriff's Department says the woman was driving eastbound on Highway 29 when her vehicle went into a ditch. The woman received help but was pronounced dead at the scene. The crash remains under investigation. Trivia 52 will be wrapping up in Stevens Point tonight. There are just under 2 hours left in the nonstop 54-hour trivia game. Students and volunteers at 90 FM are working around the clock to keep the questions going. News Channel 7's Jade Fleury spoke with a veteran volunteer who's been taking calls all weekend.
Trivia 52 is known as the largest trivia contest in the world, and I spoke with a longtime volunteer about the community coming together to make sure all trivia answers are recorded. Trivia 52 is the locally famous game where teams tune in to the student-run radio station 90 FM for trivia questions. Teams then call in with the answers to the questions.
Some questions everybody answers and people call in, so it's a little hectic.
Chris Wiesa has volunteered for 90 FM and the trivia contest for over 15 years.
Usually I'm just answering phones, so when people call in their answers, we have 18 phone operators.
Phone operators work in 4-hour shifts answering phone calls throughout the weekend.
We take their team ID number and we take their answer and tabulate all those scores.
Wiesa has worked 2.5 shifts so far. She says as the trivia contest goes on, the answers get sillier.
As the teams get more tired, so it's really fun.
The FM team was short 5 phone operators. The community came together to fill the empty positions.
The Oz got on the air and said, you know, be patient because we're a little short on phone operators. And I'll tell you, we had enough people walk in the door and said, I'm willing to help. What do you want me to do?
Call of trivia means to the community.
But it's so much fun. We really enjoy it.
There's still a little bit of time for people to get those trivia answers in. Trivia 52 ends tonight at midnight.
With the sun shining bright today, you may have started to think about your favorite summer outdoor sports. In Mosinee, companies gathered to show the latest and greatest in the world of outdoors. Today marked the first annual Mosinee Area Outdoor Show. The show featured kayaking, tubing, rafting, motorsports, and more. Mosinee Rafting came up with the idea for the event. They know that there's an ever-growing popularity for outdoor sports, particularly in this area of the state.
A lot of people want to go enjoy that. So when it comes down to it, this is one of the best areas to do your flat water kayaking, any type of paddling at all, period. Just to go out and enjoy the scenic and just to be outdoors.
The event took place at Reservoir Dog Saloon near Mosinee. The plan is to continue to grow the event each year. The organizers said they were thankful for the great weather that they got for their first ever show.
Well, it was a breezy and mild day, but clouds have built in this evening. Skywarn radar so far, no showers locally, is actually back over to the south and west across the south. Down to Waterloo. Nothing too impressive here, but could lead to some damp conditions out on the pavement as we go into the early part of the day for Monday. Our highs today, 59 in Wausau. Last time we hit 59 was 3 weeks ago on Sunday, so it's been a bit of a while. We did make it to 60 though in Rapids and Wapaka, 56 for Merrill. Our numbers have not, and also that cloud cover still running well into the 40s to right around 50. Winds are still coming out of the southeast about 10 to almost 20 miles per hour. And that will remain the case as we go through until that cold front passes by. Then the winds will turn around a bit. But tomorrow will still be breezy. Bus stop temperature 38, so above freezing. Mostly cloudy to start the day, but as the kids head home, expecting some sunshine and still mild. Temperatures back again to the upper 50s. So the hour forecast by or after midnight, some of those showers pass by. 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., that's pretty much out of here. Otherwise, we'll have those clouds during the morning. Temperatures will rise into the mid-40s by lunchtime, which is around the time we should get the rest of the day. To the evening, though, Northwood might get a passing shower going by. We are keeping close tabs, though, on possibility for first alert weather days for Tuesday night, potential strong storms. Then Wednesday afternoon going into Thursday. First on Wednesday for the possibility of strong, maybe severe storms. Then as we go to the
challenge he set out for in 2020. Cody Esser grew up in Wisconsin but was living in Texas when he decided to visit every county there. He completed his goal in about 50 days and moved back to Wisconsin a couple weeks later. Over the pandemic, Esser went on to visit every county in Wisconsin as well as some in other states. He says Dane County, which encompasses Madison, will always be his favorite.
And Dane County just has a lot to offer. Like here in Belleville, there's just a ton of stuff. I call this kind of rural suburbia. So basically, it's that small town feel. We have all the great things about a small town, but we're half an hour from everything in Madison. So it's like the best of every world. And yeah, I absolutely love Dane County.
He only has 7 more counties left to visit in Iowa before checking that state off of his list, too. Helping raise money for people suffering in Ukraine, person by decorating Easter eggs. Sandy Dixon is using melted beeswax in a tiny funnel to uniquely paint these eggs. She's offering workshops to learn her artistic skills. All profits made from the workshop and egg sales will go towards Caritas, Ukraine, through Catholic charities.
Praying for peace. I'm praying for people to understand each other as humans. I'm praying for love.
You can also purchase her creations at a special fundraiser at Century Elm Supper Club in the town of Larson on Palm Sunday from 8 to 4 p.m. The winter blues are melting, but that might not be the only thing slipping away with the season. You may notice rust in your vehicle following a winter of driving on salt and sand. News Channel 7's Ben Helwig spoke with an area expert about the damage rust causes on your car and why it can be dangerous.
Rust it's very difficult.
Driving through winter weather is frustrating enough, but as the snow melts, you may see another costly sign of the season on your vehicle: rust.
Once it starts in one spot, it's just going to keep growing, and then it does also have potential to start somewhere else if that area is not taken care of.
Some of the most common areas are on the bottom of your car, on the wheel wells and rocker panels.
But it's kind of like if you have cancer, you go to the doctor and they cut that cancer out, and then, a few months later go by and you go for a checkup and they're like, oh, they found this spot here. Well, it's bound to come back, just like rust.
The constant spread is what makes this repair a tricky one.
There's no guarantee that it won't come back, and that's a difficult thing when it comes to rust repairs, because you spend so much money fixing your car and you don't necessarily get that return or get that guarantee that it's not going to come back.
The elements of winter make the risk for rust just that much higher.
All it takes is a little stone chip, and then the salt will get in there and then eat away at everything, and the rust just keeps growing.
If you see rust on your car, it's recommended to act fast. While a lot of rust is just the fact of driving, you can do your best to prevent it.
A lot of it is the cost of driving. The best thing you can do, like I said, is just keep them.
In Wausau, Ben Helwig, News Channel 7.
Still to come, many people are dead after shootings take place nationwide. We'll tell you what happened and how cities are coping. Plus, if you need help paying for college, there's an important first step you need to take. What you need to know before you start the applications. Stay with us on News Channel 7 Weekend. A suspect is now in custody after a deadly shooting in New York. A 16-year-old girl was shot and killed while walking home from school in the Bronx. Police say the 17-year-old who was arrested Saturday for the shooting may have been using a ghost gun. In Grantville, Georgia, the State Bureau of Investigation is still working to find out who brutally murdered the owner of a gun range, his wife, and their teenage grandson this weekend.
The store's been here for a long time. The range has been here for a long time. And it's responsible. It's zero at all.
As many as 40 and The range's surveillance camera and recorder were taken from the scene in Georgia. In Iowa, a man and woman were killed in a mass shooting at a nightclub that also injured 10 people. Cedar Rapids police happened to be outside the Taboo nightclub when they got a report of shots fired inside. Officers say more than 100 people were in the nightclub for a 90s-themed party. The 10 people wounded in the shooting have injuries ranging from minor to life-threatening. People believe this was a targeted incident, not a random shooting. President Joe Biden is expected to announce new regulations for so-called ghost guns. Ghost guns are unregulated and untraceable weapons made from kits. As soon as tomorrow, Biden is expected to implement a new rule that would classify the components used to make them as firearms. Doing so would close a critical gap in the government's ability to track these types of guns. It would also require manufacturers to license. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling on all countries to impose a complete oil embargo on Russia to choke out one of its main revenue streams. Russia reportedly has appointed a veteran general who led the devastating campaign in Syria as commander of its war on Ukraine. President Biden's national security advisor says the U.S. is considering providing new weapons systems to Ukrainian forces that would require training. Zelensky explains his stance on whether or not Putin should be prosecuted for war crimes.
Look, I think everyone who made a decision, who issued an order, who fulfilled an order, everyone who is relevant to this, I believe they are guilty.
Do you hold Putin responsible?
I do believe he's one of them.
Defense Ministry reported today that the Russian armed forces were trying to compensate for mounting casualties by recalling veterans discharged in the past decade.
There will be some mild weather this week. However, as we approach and go through the Easter holiday weekend, much of the country expecting